Have you ever wondered if your morning routine could be secretly affecting your health? You know, those little habits we've developed over the years that seem harmless but might actually be causing more harm than good. Well, my friends, today we're going to talk about something that could literally change your life, 4 dangerous morning mistakes that many people over 70 make without even realizing it. Before we dive in, if you haven't already subscribed to SolidSeniors, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our potentially life-saving videos. If this content resonates with you, type "solid" in the comments below. It helps us know which information is making the biggest impact in our community. What prompted me to create this video was a heartbreaking story from one of our viewers, Martha. She wrote to me about her 75-year-old brother who had been following the same morning routine for decades, never realizing that one of his habits was slowly compromising his health. By the time he discovered the problem, he had already developed serious complications that could have been easily prevented. Today, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen to you or your loved ones. These 4 morning mistakes are surprisingly common, but once you know about them, they're completely avoidable. And the best part? Making these simple changes can dramatically improve how you feel throughout the entire day. Let's start with the first dangerous mistake, one that nearly 70% of seniors make: rushing to stand up immediately after waking. Now, you might be thinking, what's wrong with getting up quickly? I've been doing it for years. But here's what many people don't realize: that sudden movement can cause a dangerous drop in blood pressure, especially in the morning when your body is still adjusting from sleep. Dr. Sarah, a geriatric specialist I recently interviewed, explained it perfectly. She said, "The morning hours are when we see the highest rates of falls among seniors, and it's often because they're not giving their bodies time to transition from lying down to standing up. This rapid change in position can cause dizziness, disorientation, and in some cases, even lead to dangerous falls. Instead, here's what you should do: when you first wake up, take at least 3 minutes to transition slowly. Start by wiggling your toes and fingers, then do some gentle stretches while still lying down. Next, roll to your side and pause for about 30 seconds before slowly pushing yourself up to a sitting position. Sit on the edge of the bed for another minute, allowing your body to adjust before finally standing up. This simple change can dramatically reduce your risk of morning falls and dizziness. The second dangerous morning mistake is one that might surprise you. It's about what you're doing, or not doing, with your medication schedule. Many seniors take their morning medications immediately after waking up, often on an empty stomach. Others wait until after breakfast but don't realize that certain foods can interfere with their medication's effectiveness. Let me share a concerning story from Robert, another viewer who learned this lesson the hard way. He had been taking his blood pressure medication first thing in the morning, right after waking up, with just a small sip of water. What he didn't know was that taking certain medications on an empty stomach wasn't just reducing their effectiveness, it was potentially causing damage to his digestive system. The correct approach is more nuanced than most people realize. Some medications need to be taken with food, others on an empty stomach, and some need to be spaced apart from certain foods or other medications. This timing isn't just about convenience, it can make the difference between your medication working properly or not working at all. The solution to the medication timing issue is to create what I call a morning medication map. Work with your doctor or pharmacist to understand exactly when each of your medications should be taken. Some might need to be taken 30 minutes before breakfast, others with food, and some might need to be spaced 2 hours apart from certain foods or other medications. Keep this map somewhere visible in your bathroom or kitchen, and follow it precisely. Remember, this isn't just about timing, it's about maximizing the effectiveness of medications that you're counting on to maintain your health. And speaking of timing, this leads us to our third dangerous morning mistake: improper hydration timing and choices. Now, you might be thinking, how complicated can drinking water be? But here's where many seniors get it wrong: they either drink too much water all at once in the morning to catch up from overnight, or they start their day with dehydrating beverages like coffee or tea before properly hydrating. Let me share what happened to George, an 82-year-old viewer from Florida. He would wake up feeling parched and immediately drink 2 large glasses of water, thinking he was doing the right thing. But this sudden flood of water was actually shocking his system and causing unnecessary trips to the bathroom, which increased his risk of falls during those crucial early morning hours. What's more concerning is that this pattern was masking his body's natural thirst signals throughout the day. Dr. James Wilson, a nephrologist I consulted, explained that this kind of bulk hydration can actually make it harder for seniors to maintain proper hydration throughout the day. Here's the correct approach: start with small sips of room temperature water when you first wake up. About 4 to 6 ounces is perfect to begin with. Then, gradually increase your water intake over the first hour of your morning. This allows your body to properly absorb the hydration without overwhelming your system. But there's another aspect to this hydration mistake that's equally important: the temperature of your morning beverages. Many seniors start their day with very hot coffee or tea, not realizing that extremely hot beverages can irritate the digestive system and potentially increase acid reflux problems, especially on an empty stomach. The solution isn't to give up your morning coffee or tea, it's about timing and temperature. Wait at least 30 minutes after your initial water intake before having hot beverages, and make sure they're warm rather than hot. This simple adjustment can make a significant difference in how you feel throughout the day. Now, let's talk about the 4th dangerous morning mistake, and this one might be the most surprising of all: it's about morning light exposure and timing. Many seniors either stay in dim lighting too long in the morning or expose themselves to harsh artificial light too quickly. Barbara, a 73-year-old viewer, shared how she would keep her blinds closed until mid-morning, thinking she was protecting her eyes. What she didn't realize was that this habit was disrupting her circadian rhythm and contributing to her sleep problems at night. Even more concerning, it was affecting her vitamin D production and potentially impacting her bone health. But here's where it gets interesting: the solution isn't as simple as throwing open your curtains the moment you wake up. Proper morning light exposure needs to be gradual and timed correctly. The ideal approach is to get indirect natural light within the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking up. This helps regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle and supports healthy hormone production. Dr. Lisa, a chronobiologist, explained that morning light exposure isn't just about being awake, it's about setting your body's internal clock for the entire day. This affects everything from your digestion to your energy levels, and even your cognitive function. The proper technique is to start with indirect natural light, perhaps by sitting near a window while you do your morning medication routine. Then, as your eyes adjust, gradually increase your exposure to natural light. If possible, spending 10 to 15 minutes outside in the morning can make a tremendous difference in your overall health and energy levels. But here's something crucial to remember: this light exposure needs to be balanced with proper eye protection. Many seniors make the mistake of going from dark rooms to bright sunlight without proper transition or protection. The solution to proper morning light exposure is to keep a pair of transition lenses or light sunglasses near your bedside. This way, you can protect your eyes while still getting the benefits of natural morning light. Think of it as giving your eyes a gentle wake-up call, just like we discussed earlier about giving your body time to adjust when getting out of bed. Now, let's talk about how these 4 morning mistakes can compound each other, creating what I call the morning cascade effect. When you rush to stand up, take medications incorrectly, mismanage your hydration, and get improper light exposure, you're not just making 4 separate mistakes, you're creating a domino effect that can impact your entire day. Let me share a success story that illustrates this perfectly. Helen, a 78-year-old viewer from Ohio, wrote to tell us how changing these morning habits transformed her daily life. She said, "I used to wake up feeling dizzy and tired, and by afternoon I was completely exhausted. After following your advice and correcting these morning mistakes, I have more energy than I've had in years. My children can't believe the difference." But here's something important I want to address: making these changes doesn't mean completely disrupting your morning routine. It's about making small, strategic adjustments that can have powerful effects. Think of it as fine-tuning an engine rather than replacing it entirely. Let's break down what an ideal morning routine looks like when you avoid these 4 dangerous mistakes. First, when you wake up, take those crucial 3 minutes to transition from lying to standing. During this time, you can do gentle stretches and deep breathing exercises. This isn't just about preventing falls, it's about starting your day with intention and awareness. Next, follow your morning medication map precisely. Remember, this isn't about taking all your medications at once, but rather spacing them correctly throughout your morning routine. Some viewers have found it helpful to use a timer or alarm system to keep track of different medication times. For hydration, start with those small sips of room temperature water. As you progress through your morning routine, gradually increase your water intake. By the time you're ready for your morning coffee or tea, your body will be properly hydrated and better prepared to handle warm beverages. And for light exposure, begin with indirect natural light while you're doing these other activities. As your eyes adjust, gradually increase your exposure to natural light, always using appropriate eye protection when needed. Dr. Robert Martinez, a geriatric specialist who's been following our channel, recently shared something fascinating. He said, "What's remarkable about these morning adjustments is how they work together to support your body's natural rhythms." When seniors make these changes, we often see improvements not just in their morning energy levels, but in their overall health markers. Now, I want to address something that many viewers have asked about: what if you wake up at different times each day? The key isn't the specific time you wake up, but rather the sequence of these morning activities. Whether you're an early bird rising at 5 a.m. or prefer to sleep until 8 a.m., these principles remain the same. Think of it like conducting an orchestra. Each element needs to come in at the right time and in the right order to create harmony. Your morning routine should flow smoothly from one activity to the next, each supporting and enhancing the others. Let me share one final story that really drives home the importance of avoiding these morning mistakes. Tom, an 85-year-old viewer, wrote to us about how making these changes quite literally saved his life. He had been experiencing frequent morning dizzy spells but thought they were just part of aging. After implementing these changes, particularly the careful transition from lying to standing and proper medication timing, his dizzy spells completely disappeared. His doctor was amazed at the improvement in his blood pressure readings and overall stability. What stood out to you most from today's discussion? Which of these morning mistakes might you be making without realizing it? We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights might help another viewer recognize and correct these dangerous morning habits in their own life. If you found this information valuable, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that can make a real difference in people's lives. Remember to type "solid" in the comments if this information was helpful to you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, it's never too late to make positive changes in your life. These morning adjustments might seem small, but they can have a profound impact on your health and well-being. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay solid.